Hey there, how can I help you? Oh, hey, yeah, looking to buy a car. But something that's not too expensive, it has to be able to fit my budget. Well, I saw that you were looking at the Toyota Camry. That is a fantastic and superbly reliable vehicle. Yeah, but I think it's probably a little too expensive for me. I'm probably gonna have to go with like one of the used vehicles. What would you say if I could get you into a brand new 2025 Toyota Camry for less per month than what it would cost for any used vehicle we have on this lot? Yeah, I guess. But how? Let's go over to my desk. So a brand new Toyota Camry out the door would be around $32,000. And we're actually running a special right now, 3.99% for 36 months, which would be a monthly payment of $959.07, assuming you qualified for the loan. Yeah, that's definitely over my monthly budget. I wouldn't be able to handle that, but thanks. So we also have another amazing program where you can get the exact same vehicle. It's $299 a month for 39 months with only $39.58 due at signing. That would be a savings of almost $660 a month, and it would get you in a brand new vehicle for only $299 a month. Wow, what? But how does this all work? So this is actually through our lease program. We take care of all the oil changes. You don't have to worry about a thing. It's a really amazing program in order to get people like you into brand new vehicles for a low, low price. I mean, I'm getting the same vehicle for only $299 a month. So I can get a brand new Toyota Camry for $299 a month. Wow. Yep, it's that easy. Leasing a vehicle is the most expensive way to drive. And there are several important factors we need to know before we make this very important financial decision. Number one, we don't own the car at the end of a lease, which means in 3 to 5 years, we'll either have to A, lease another vehicle again, or B, go through this process and purchase something else. And one of the biggest benefits of buying over leasing is the equity that we retain in the vehicle that we buy. And even though cars do lose value quickly, the reality is, after 3 years of lease payments, that Toyota Camry is worth $0 because it's still owned by the dealership, even though we paid $16,162 into that lease. On average, after 3 years, a Toyota Camry will still be worth 75 to 80% of its purchase price, meaning we would still have around $25,000 in equity. And those numbers alone are spectacular. So if we lease the vehicle, we have to pay $16,000 versus only $8,000 in depreciation lost on the vehicle that we bought new, and $25,000 still there in equity. Number two, the fees that will be assessed at the end of the lease, such as the mileage fee if you drive over the preset allotment, the disposition fee, which is charged to prepare the vehicle for resale, an early termination charge if you decide to turn the vehicle in early, and the excessive wear fee, which will be assessed for any repair costs that are determined to be needed to the vehicle. And the dealership will go over that vehicle with a fine-tooth comb, especially if we don't roll that lease into another new lease. In fact, according to Experian Automotive, the average turn-in fees are $1,800. Number three, as long as you lease, your car payments will never end.
Never end. Never end.
If you're still on the fence on whether or not it's better to buy or lease, then let's look at the total cost over a 10-year period. Assuming I continue leasing all 10 years, and those lease payments stay the same if we ignore inflation, that's an average of $3,598 down every 3 years, plus an average of $1,800 in turn-in fees every 3 years, plus $299 a month of lease payments for 10 years for a total cost of $52,074, and even more if we factor in inflationary increases. The Toyota Camry, on the other hand, costs $32,000 out the door, plus the interest and loan cost of $2,500, and an estimated $4,455 in repair and maintenance cost, for a total of $38,955. And the Camry will still be worth about $5,000 at the end of 10 years. If we sold at that point, that's a total cost of $33,955. So $52,074 versus $33,955. That's over $18,000 in savings. Now, if someone says, I'm willing to pay $18,000 over 10 years, so that way I can have a brand new Toyota Camry every 3 years. That's a completely personal decision. But that does equal out to $1,800 a year or $150 a month. And $150 a month invested in a solid S&P 500 index fund, which is averaging around 10% in interest, would be a total of $340,000 if we did that for 30 years. Now, there's also the argument for leasing going around out there that I can deduct the cost of the lease from my business taxes if I'm a business owner. And this is true, but the thing to remember is there's also a mileage deduction. And if you decide to deduct the cost of the lease, you cannot also deduct the cost of the mileage. And using our $299 a month example to lease and the current rate of 70 cents a mile reimbursement, that means if we're driving over 427 miles per month or around 5,100 miles per year, then that argument just doesn't work. And thanks to my friend Chewy, I was reminded of the fact that lots of governments out there are offering discounts on electric vehicles, which in the US, for example, means that you may be able to lease an electric vehicle for $7,500 cheaper than another non-electric vehicle. And if you are super concerned about the environment, and if you want to drive a vehicle that's eco-friendly, then this may be an option for you, but again, it comes down to a very personal decision. Ultimately, if you want to have a nice new, brand new vehicle once every 3 years, and you're willing to pay the extra cost, then that's completely up to you. For me, that's not the best financial decision, as it does cost a lot. But again, you have to decide for yourself if that's money that you're willing to spend. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're just getting started with common sense money tips. Make sure that you give us a like, share with anybody who's thinking about leasing and whether or not the numbers work. Hopefully in this video, we were able to show that maybe it wouldn't be the best financial decision to lease over purchasing a vehicle. Until the next video, my name is Tip. I'll see you then.